So, hello everyone. So, let us begin our introduction to NLP session. So, yes, about NLP, neuro linguistic programming. So, when I was introduced to this concept, there were I wanted to know what it is. And after knowing, I can say for sure that, we all have used NLP at some point or the other. But here, this is a module which is selected things are there, it's all composed and it's all about so many techniques that we can use at different points of time. So let me begin with a story of if there is this boy who wants to know what NLP is. So he has heard his mother say about NLP. So he's going and asking the mother, Mom, what is NLP? So now the mom wants to give a very simple example for the boy to understand. So she just smiles and she says, "You go and no, ask your grandfather as to how he is doing today." So the boy goes to the grandpa and he says to grandpa, "Grandpa, how are you doing today?" So grandpa starts to say, like, "I'm having a lot of leg pain and backache. I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling very a lot of pain." So the child goes back to his mom and says, grandpa was saying that he's not feeling good. He's having a lot of leg pain, okay, and back pain, and he's not doing good. So she says, okay. So then he says, Mom, now tell me what is NLP. So mom says, okay, now you go back to grandpa and ask him that what episodes, funny episodes he remembers of you as a child. So he says, okay. So the boy goes back to the grandpa and he says, Grandpa, what episodes of my childhood do you remember, which are like very funny? Then grandpa just thinks and he starts to laugh and he says, yeah, I remember as a like when you were just 2 or 3 year old, you were like so fascinated with all the pets, like all the cats and dogs. So you used to run behind them and they used to get scared and run away. You were so fascinated to go and catch the tail. So that was like very funny, like to see every all the cats and dogs run away and you were like so desperately following them. So that was one of the funny things I remember. Then he thinks, I say, I also remember that you broke my friend's spectacles, and that was so funny. So then he just hears and he's so happy and he goes to his mom and says, like, Mom, grandpa said about these things and he was so happy. And then the mom says, yes, this is what is NLP. You did NLP for your grandpa. Now, with this story, what do you understand? Okay, it is what we can see here is like the neuro linguistic programming is nothing but just understanding that we are a person with different experiences and we have different thought process. Now here what happens is the same grandpa who had the pain, okay, who was telling about the pain, okay, so even now he would be having the pain, but when he is remembering those funny episodes, suddenly his mood is shifting, he's completely transforming, okay, because what has happened, he has transformed into to think about those happy funny memories, and that is bringing a lot of change in his body posture, in his way of like thinking, as well as probably changing the mood. So what we understand here from the story is a very simple way of understanding the NLP is it is a shift in our thought process, it is a shift in our thoughts by way of reframing our thoughts. So a sad mood can become a happy mood just by probably reframing certain things which we have been thinking. Okay, so now let us go into detail about the wordings here and understanding the concept of neuro linguistic programming. See, neuro is connected to like whatever we have like absorbed from our experiences, okay, through our observation or through the five senses. Okay, the five senses, as in what we see, okay, what we hear, okay, what we smell, what we taste, and what we feel through the touch. All these things comprises the input, that is the five senses are our input, which is what we call as the neuro, that is whatever we are experiencing through all these five senses of sight, okay, hearing, taste, smell, as well as touch, we are processing the information. So these are what we call as the input devices. Okay, so these are the input devices through which we are sensing the world. Now, that is what we will be like understanding as neuro. What is linguistic? Whatever we are experiencing, okay, we have a word for that. Suppose you saw a rose, so you say like, okay, I saw rose, so you saw a very beautiful flower. Okay, so that is what you are processing with some words. You smell, you say it's a sweet smell. Okay, so every particular experience which we are having through the five senses is getting stored or processed with some word. Just I'll say, like, don't think of any word or any language at all. Okay, so then it would be very difficult for you to even think something. If I say, like, whatever you think should have no word at all, it would be difficult, because for every thought we have, whatever we are thinking, whether, oh, I have to go and catch the train, so we have like words for every thought of ours. Okay, so that is how we have been shaping our thoughts with the help of words and languages. Okay, so whatever senses we are feeling, okay, with the input of the five senses, we are using linguistic, we are using words, we are using languages to process. So combination of all three, all these two together would be the programming which is making us to think in a particular way, speak in a particular way, act in a particular way. So what do we understand here? We understand this thing that whatever today we are is a product of whatever we have been through in our past. Okay, so whatever files we have created, which could include fear for something. Okay, some people are afraid of maybe, cockroaches or lizards. So why is that so? Because maybe they have seen certain things, felt certain things at that time, and then they have formed the vocabulary, this is scary, and then that becomes a part of our memory. So whenever we experience a particular thing, again, like seeing a lizard or something, then we are like, feeling scared. So that means any particular thing which we have, whether it is related to feeling sad or feeling angry, any particular thing has been created by us. Do you agree? Okay, so it is something which we have created. That means if we could create something which is pulling us down, we can definitely create something which can lift us up, right? So it is about reprogramming or reframing our thoughts, so that using the same concept of five senses, the languages, and the potential differences which we can make here by reframing, can make us act, speak, and think very, very differently. So this is about, like, having a different processing happening. So here it is all about empowering ourselves to behave in a different way, to think in a different way, and to attract different results compared to what we have been attracting all along. So we have, NLP is a very huge module. There are many things. I've just tried to make it as simple as possible for you to understand this concept. So there are many presuppositions, but here we will be taking some five presuppositions. Now, what are presuppositions? These could be what we can understand as a base on which the NLP entire module is designed. That is, certain things which are like acting as a base, based on which certain things we will be developing further. Okay, a few things over here is people respond to their experience, okay, rather than reality itself. So let us understand this concept. Suppose sometimes, like, you have a fight with your spouse, okay? So that time, what your experience would have been is about, like, I feel very unloved because, he said or she said such and such thing. This has also happened in the past. Okay, he always neglects me or she always neglects me. She doesn't love me. Okay, so now whatever is your response here, that you are upset or you're angry or whatever is happening, is based on your experience either at that moment, whatever you are experiencing, unloved feeling, unhappiness, irritation, or could be certain things based on the past, that even last time he neglected me, even last time she said or she was nagging me. So these are certain responses which you give based on your experiences, but it may not be real. That is, you feel that he or she is not loving you, but that could be completely unreal, because your reaction is completely based on your experience either at that moment or moments earlier, like certain experiences of the past. But it has got nothing to do with reality. This is our own processing which we have been thinking, and that is how we react and we get angry. But has to be a real thing? May not be. Okay, so now when we understand these concepts, next time when you have a similar experience, try to ask, just pause and try to ask yourself, is this real, whatever I'm feeling, or it is just based on the like past experiences I have been having? Is it real that I am not loved? Is it real that nobody loves me or cares for me? Or it is just a response to certain experiences? Now, how it would help you? This would help you to mold your thoughts so that you don't go into that vicious cycle of feeling very unloved and feeling a lot of pity. You understand that you are apart from, like, whatever your experiences that time may not be a reality at all. So let me not respond in a very bad way, because what if it is just based on my previous experience and may not be real? Okay, the second thing about every behavior is useful in some context. Okay, now you might find how. For example, like, have you read about certain cases, like, where people probably missed a flight, okay, and because they overslept, and that flight probably crashed. Have you read certain news like that? There are many news like that coming across from the world, like how certain people just missed a flight because they overslept, and it proved out to be a boon to them because that flight crashed and they are still alive. So likewise, like every behavior, whatever is there, like maybe oversleeping or laziness or anger, may not be wrong all the time. It could be useful in some context. Now, that is, next time when you feel I am very aggressive, okay, also ask yourself, like, in what areas this aggression could be helpful for me? Maybe this aggression helped you to fight all those difficult situations of life. This aggression helped you to pursue your career or your dream. So, may not be a wrong behavior all the time. So, in whatever areas this any particular behavior which you feel is not useful, okay, could be useful at some context. So, try to just list down in what all context these things could be useful. If you are lazy, it is good. Probably you don't end up being a part of some gossip circle. Or maybe you don't end up being a part of some addictions because you're lazy, you don't want to try at all. Okay, so certain behavior could be useful in some context. So, in whatever context that has been useful, keep that alive in that context. And in other contexts, wherever you feel it is not useful, you can make the change. But don't categorize or just put a stamp on yourself. I'm a lazy person, I can do nothing. Okay, it is not like that. Certain things are always useful in certain contexts. In that context, let it be. And in other contexts where it is not helpful, you can make some changes in that particular areas. Okay, so that is the second presupposition. The third is people make the best choice they have, okay, they can at any particular time. Whatever choice they made was the best choice at that particular time. Now people do have a lot of repentance about, I should have done this, I should have done that, okay, about the past. But believe me, okay, what about NLP says is so true, because you could have done whatever you could at that time was always the best thing. Okay, so whatever you did at that time was the best choice available to you. Everybody at every time always thinks about doing the best choice. So no matter it is your spouse or your kids or whoever it is, you are repenting, but that is the best choice at that particular time. Okay, so it is about like anything which you did. Okay, so don't feel like, oh, what if? What if comes now? Now you have been thinking that way. At that moment, whatever it is, like maybe some decisions you took about the leaving your job or maybe buying a property, then you feel no, that is not something good I did. But no, at that moment, it was the best choice. Now, what this allows you to think is you start to be relieved. You are not stuck up with the same old pattern of like cursing yourself or your past. Understand and acknowledge that you did, or everybody for that matter, all the people whoever did, said, or behaved in a particular way with you and you are not happy, but probably at that moment whatever they did was the best choice according to them. Okay, so this allows us to be more open and more accepting about all the people, because everybody, all the people make the best choice. Okay, at any given time, whatever they can, they did it. Okay, so the fourth point is about we already have all the resources we need, or we can create them. So this is such a beautiful presupposition of NLP, that all of us, okay, all of us have all the resources what we need to be successful. And suppose if we do not have, then we can create it. It is within our reach. Whatever resources you want, you already have, or you can create it. Nobody is going to stop you. You have the resources to be successful in whatever area of life you want to be. Likewise, if suppose you feel you're falling short of, no problem, you can create those resources. You can create help, you can create a support system, you can learn something, you can create new expertise or knowledge for yourself. Everything is possible. You are already empowered. You already have all the resources. Okay, you already have them. And if you feel you are lacking something, no problem, you can create them. The fifth presupposition I would like to include here is about the mind and body form a system. They are different expressions of one person. Often people say that, I can't do this because my body is not supportive. We are taking mind and body as two different things. They aren't. They are all together. Whatever you think here is going to reflect on your body. So whatever is the root cause of any particular issue, if we are able to handle those, then definitely all the bodily issues could also be handled. It's all about the grandpa story, how he was feeling very painful. Okay, but when he started to think about all the happy memories, suddenly he felt very energetic and happy. So because mind and body are one system, just like, suppose you are very tired, okay, and like you are being told go and buy vegetables, you feel no, I can't, I don't have the energy, I'm so tired. But suppose I give you a call and I say like I have two free movie tickets, would you come? And you would be like, yeah, why not, right? So you were tired, you were feeling very what lethargic and dull, but what happened? When your mind changed, your body is ready to cooperate. So it is not that those are two different systems. Okay, those are the same system. So with your changes of reframing your thought, you can bring a very huge difference to your body as well. Okay, so these are the five presuppositions. There are many, but these are the base of the NLP. Now, how does NLP help you? That is, when you start to reframe your thoughts, we will be seeing certain techniques as well, but let's understand in what way it would help you. When you start to reframe your thoughts, you change your outlook towards life. It helps you in building effective relationships. You have the choice, you have the flexibility in handling difficult situation. You have the choice how you would react. You would react in a way like, oh, everything is all done, or it is like, let me work some solution out. NLP helps you to have increased confidence, to be more influential, and to and able to challenge any situation. It improves your self awareness. You are more aware about yourself. It helps you with goal achievement and progress, and job satisfaction, in better understanding of oneself and others. So these are some of the things which it can offer. It can offer many more. Now let us come to this concept of wheel of life. Now, often people say like, my life has been very painful. Okay, and what they are talking about is one area of life. They're talking about maybe the health was not good, or maybe they had a lot of financial issues, or they are having some issues with their partner or family. Okay, but let us look at the entire wheel of life. Wheel of life is our total life, which could be divided into different areas. Okay, for all of us these could be the thing, and for many of us there could be much more than this, but generally these are the areas which we have in our life, which includes, okay, family, health, money, fun, recreation, personal and spiritual growth, okay, romance or love relationship, career and work. There are many more, okay, but these are like some basic. Now, if you're saying my life is very difficult, then which part of your life is difficult? Ask yourself. Because not all areas of life would be a problem for anybody. Everybody has certain areas which are definitely doing great and certain areas which needs to do great. Okay. But it is totally about how we look at it, how we look at our life. If you look at all other things, maybe you are good with your, like, your personal growth is good. Maybe your connect with God is good. Maybe you have sufficient time for fun and recreation. Maybe your family life is also good. Maybe somewhere finance is a struggle, or maybe health is a struggle. Okay, then many other areas are successful. A few areas you need to work in. That's all. But it is not the totality of life. We can't conclude, oh, I have a very difficult life. I'm just making you shift your thought pattern from difficulties to what all things are right. Okay, because here it is a wheel of life, which is about different areas of life. Acknowledge all those beautiful things you are having in your life, which are working very well, right? So which areas of life are working very well? Acknowledge those and just work on those areas of life which needs some extra attention. One thing is for sure, any particular area of life which is working very well for you, you have put in your time and efforts in that area. That's the reason it is working well. For people who are having very good business or career or growth, they have put in a lot of time and efforts in grooming that. So that's the reason that particular area is very good for them. Probably they didn't give much of attention to the family. So that area needs some, extra effort. So that means whatever time which we have, okay, and how we divide our time has got a direct connection with how much it is developed or how far it can develop. Okay, so it is all about prioritizing and giving time. So any particular thing, if you select like this is the area I want to work on, so if you are giving some time to groom it, to shape it, then that also is going to be very good. So this is just one presentation for you to understand that these are the areas, or maybe a few more. But now you decide which areas you need to work more on, which areas are doing very good. So select those areas where you need to work on, and then we can go ahead with how to work on those areas. Okay. So now going ahead about what are you going to focus on. Okay, so certain things is all about what we focus on. So are you focusing on what you have, or are you focusing on what you are missing? Because if you start to focus on what you have, you would be very happy, you would be grateful, you will be cheerful, because you're focusing on whatever is in abundance, whatever is in surplus. So that is what we call as a abundance mentality. You're choosing to focus on the abundance, whatever is happening in a positive way, you're focusing on that. But if you are starting to focus on what you are missing out, then your focus is shifting to a poverty mindset, where you are just focused on whatever is not going on right. With that kind of mind frame, we often end up having depressed thoughts or feeling upset, because we are too much focused only on what we are missing rather than what all we have. So the wheel of life is providing you area as all what all you already have. Look at that, and what is missing, just highlight that, and you can definitely work on it. But First, let us acknowledge all those positive things which we already have, all those areas which we have already mastered, all those areas in which we are already happy, and those areas wherever we are missing, we can definitely work on. This doesn't apply only to that, but in every point of time, next time when you're feeling upset, just ask yourself, am I focusing on what I have, or I am focusing on what I am missing? Because if we are focusing too much on what we are missing, we miss out all the fun, we miss out all the happiness. But if we focus on what we have, we are adding more value to life, we are adding more happiness to life. Again, what are you focusing on what you can control or on what you cannot control? If you focus on what you can control, you will be more happy. Why? Because you know, like, these things are in your control and you can work on it. But certain things which are not in our control, we can't. If we focus on that, we are not going to create any solution out of it. For instance, you can control or you can focus on how you react to a particular situation. What is your response? Suppose if somebody, if there is, like, angry neighbor, okay, the neighbor is like having a very bad mood and creating a lot of sound at house, and suppose you just you are feeling disturbed and you just rang the bell and say, I'm getting a lot of sound, can you just keep it low volume? And suppose he yells at you. Now, how you respond to a situation like that is in your control. Either you choose, okay, maybe he's in a bad mood, let it be, I don't mind. Okay, I'll just try about shifting my mood. If you focus on that, then you are in control of your emotions. But if you are focusing on what you cannot control, which would be the angry neighbor, okay, you can't control the angry neighbor, you can't control his mood, okay, which is now very aggressive, you can't control the TV remote of his house. Okay, so these are not in your control. But if you're focusing only on what you can't control, what that would make you, that would make you feel very grumpy, that would make you feel very upset. You will feel like, he's such a painful thing. Either I will lodge a complaint against him, or maybe I'll just shift the place. Okay, so it is about, like, when you focus on something you cannot control, it is going to affect your mood as well. Okay, you are allowing people to steal away your happiness, isn't it? So, but you focus on what you have, what you can control, what you can do, then your thought process is completely different than if you focus on what you cannot have or what you cannot control. Okay, so that is the difference. So now you decide what you want to focus on. What you choose to focus on is your choice. Okay, so now we go ahead with a technique which we all need, and probably we should do this often, is about a self-compassion technique. So here, self-compassion technique is about 5 things from your childhood which you are going to think of. This could include maybe your parents, maybe your sibling, maybe some of the relatives or some teachers who are your comfort people, or this could include some toys which you connect to, okay, which used to give you comfort, or this could include maybe something like a place which used to give you comfort. You choose your 5 things, okay. It could include people, place, or object. Okay, you choose your 5 things, okay, and then just follow the technique which I'm saying. For that, you all have to just close your eyes and sit comfortably. Relax, do some 5 to 10 deep breathe in, breathe out to completely relax. Now think about 5 characters that used to give a lot of comfort to you. These could be your parents, or relatives, or friends, or pets, or even childhood toys, or some place. These could be a few people or place or things whose comfort used to matter to you. Like being there, being with them used to make you feel very comfortable. Now think of any anxiety you have in your life, any worry, any tension. Okay, think of that tension or worry and just feel that tension and worry around. Now describe that worry or tension as to what you are able to see, what you are able to sense, and is it making you very sick or shaky? So, whatever is your honest description about that worry or tension, just realize or make yourself feel that. Now, relax gently and imagine all the thousands and thousands of people in this world who also feel the same way. Imagine all those thousands and thousands of people in this entire world who also have the same kind of anxiety. Now, gently wish them well, say good things for them, send them good wishes, which could be all the things are going to be all right. There would be a solution. You will get the solution. Whatever good vibes, whatever good thoughts you want to tell them, you want to send them, just imagine that you are wishing them well. You're wishing good for all these thousands and thousands of people who are having the same anxiety. Now visualize they are doing the same for you. All those thousands and thousands of people are also sending you wishes, saying that everything is going to be all right. You would be taken care of. So you are receiving wishes from thousands and thousands of people, all warm wishes, good wishes. Now, bring to your mind all these five characters I had asked you to think of, who would be apart from maybe your childhood, maybe some family member, friend, or pet, place, or toy. These five characters are surrounding you and they are telling you be kind to yourself, care for yourself, nurture yourself. And they're repeating these again and again. Be kind to yourself, care for yourself, nurture yourself. Be kind to yourself, care for yourself, nurture yourself. Be kind to yourself. Repeat these words in your mind. Be kind to yourself, care for yourself, nurture yourself. Be kind to yourself, care for yourself, nurture yourself. Now, slowly start to accept and nurture these compassionate thoughts. Check how you're feeling now. Are you feeling more kindness towards yourself? Are you feeling more care towards yourself? Are you feeling more nurtured? Notice the changes, however small they could be, but Those are the changes which are telling you that you can do a lot many things to overcome all these problems, and you're going to stand tall and have a great future. Now bring all those learnings with you, the learnings of being kind to yourself, the learnings of caring for yourself and nurturing yourself. Bring all these learnings with you and come back into your day to day. And when you are settled, open your eyes with the conviction that from now on, you're going to be kind to yourself. You will care for yourself and you will nurture yourself. And you are blessed with thousands and thousands of people's wishes, and everything is going to be taken care of. So, when you're all settled, you can open your eyes. So, I'm sure you like the technique. What it teaches us is that we all do mistakes. We all have anxieties. There is none alive who is not having any worry or tension. But isn't this important to understand that we all have these things? But why is that so that some people still manage to be very happy in life, very successful in life, whereas other people are still struggling? That is the only difference is they could reframe their mind to think differently. They could think about what all things they can do, which could include being kind to yourself, to care for yourself, and to nurture yourself rather than just focusing on what I am not good at. So, have this self compassion, practice this often, stand by yourself because that is what matters the most. There would be many more techniques which we will be learning, which would in NLP. It's a very huge module, okay, but we have designed a course, okay, which would be there, which I'll be announcing the course about. Okay, so we are going to have a course coming up on this 24th of December. It would be at Thane. Okay, so for the people who are out of Mumbai, okay, we might be having certain courses in your cities as well. So whenever like you have a group, you can contact so we can come there and we can conduct it for you. This can also be done online. Okay, so but these are the things which we will be learning. Certain techniques connected to dissociation. Okay, disassociation is connected to how we disassociate ourselves from a particular situation and when how we start to think differently. Whatever happens is because we are like too much associated to any particular situation. We are too much into that. Okay, so then we are not able to think out of it. Something what we call as, we are in the box. If suppose, it's so easy to actually, if somebody is angry, okay, it's so easy to make other people angry. A person just starts to shout, and other people also start to shout. Why? Because somebody is in the box, then everybody is in that box. It's like everybody is pulled into that box. That is something like, anybody can trigger you. Why? Because we are associating ourselves with that particular person, we are connecting to that particular emotion. So that is association which is taking place. NLP techniques are many, and in that they teach us how to disassociate. So this is one of the technique where we will be learning how we can come out of the box and think differently. About reframing each and every thought which we are having, how we can think differently in different contexts. Okay, then about a three-dimensional thinking. This is one of a very beautiful concepts of NLP where you can think from three dimensions. Okay, one is your own perception, your own outlook. Okay, suppose you're having a problem with somebody. Okay, so there is always three ways of looking at particular thing. One is your perception, your outlook, what you think from being that person that you are from the inside. The other perception or the other dimension is about the other person, how he is thinking and why he is saying or doing the thing what he or she is doing. For instance, a conflict. Okay, you are having a conflict with maybe your family member. Okay, it could be maybe a distant relative as well. Okay, if suppose somebody, or here for just an example, if I say about an in-law, suppose you are having a problem with your in-law. So now here you are able to look from only your point of view. Okay, so now when it is about your in-law, now here you, after understanding your point of view, you shift to their dimension. You understand why she is or he is saying that what he or she is saying. It could be that they have been brought up in a particular way, their tradition, their culture, their outlook would be completely different from yours. That is the second dimension. The third dimension is a neutral perspective, where you are looking at the same situation as an outsider. Like, okay, this person said so because this person's background makes him or her thinks in particular way. The second person says so because he or she is thinking in a particular way. Then the third dimension or the third perception is about like a neutral perception, where we are able to think or see from both people's point of view. It's like a expert opinion. It's like neutral opinion, like why both are doing what they are doing. Okay, then there is something called as a timeline method, where we can clear whatever past traumas which we are having. Okay, how many times people are stuck in the past. You would have come across certain people who keep saying from the time, like from the time of maybe 1990 what happened, from that time till now they will be saying this happened, that happened. Okay, I had one client who had actually like made a very huge chart, like flow chart kind of a thing, flow chart with like what his wife told on the first day, the second day, why all the fight happened. And it was like, oh my God, people are not ready to let go of many things. But if you want to come out of all those things, it could be any person, it could be you having difficulty with the other person, or you're having difficulty with yourself or your own episode. The timeline method can help you to just come out of all those traumas, all those past episodes which are holding you back. Excellent technique, and it is like so quick. It's not like you need to do it so many times. No, at one go you will be finding a very huge difference, very huge change. The phobia cure, it's a fast cure to come out of any phobia, whether it is like a height related phobia or water related phobia, or it is like lift phobia. So there are so different names, psychological names, like for all those things. I'm using a layman language here. So there are so many phobias, like fire phobia. Then you might be having phobia related to maybe insects or anything. Any phobia, okay, which is stopping you from living your life 100%, you will be able to cure those things, come out of it. Then coming to goal setting and achievement. Okay, how to set goals, achievable goals in different areas of life. Okay, and as I mentioned about certain goals which you have, okay, which you want to improve but you are not, or certain areas of life you want to improve but you are not knowing how to do that. So these techniques would help you to improve those areas, whichever you are feeling that you are lacking something or you are lagging behind. So we are also going to learn about all those techniques, how to effectively have a complete wheel of life, where you are having all the areas of life in a very good way, you are able to achieve those things. Okay, so that is these are the techniques which we are going to learn. This would be on 24th of December. Okay, so it is a Saturday. So it is like 10 to 6. It is at Suraj Plaza, Hotel by Suraj Plaza, which is at Thane. Okay, so inclusive of all the materials, okay, including like the lounge tea, everything, and the entire training, it would be 3,500. Okay, so this is the fees. And the idea behind this is like whatever we are charging, more than 60 to 70% we are giving them back by way of the best of comfort. Okay, because I want you to come there and be treated in the best way possible. This would be a like very big shift in your life, very big shift in your transformation of your life. So the idea behind this is getting the best of place, best of food, everything is so that you understand how important you are. So it is not about like charging like a very huge amount. And because this trainings whatever I have attended as well as like wherever it is happening are very expensive, but this is the basic which we are charging with the intention of giving back whatever you are paying. Even if you're going to book it separately, you would be having to pay 60 to 70% of this at least for that hotel and all those things. So here our intention is for you to realize like how good you are, because NLP is about completely understanding that you are already empowered. You're already empowered, you just do not realize that. It is about like you are enough. As you are enough. From now on, the statement that you need to make is not I need to change. No, you don't need to change, you are so beautiful. It is just about I am enough, and I choose to make these changes in life. That's all. It's about like you just tell yourself, I want you to tell this to yourself. Tell yourself, I am enough. Okay, say that I am enough, and I choose to include, okay, certain good, more better things which you want. Maybe, if you want to work on your family, okay, you say, I am enough, and I choose to make beautiful changes in my family life. I am enough. I just choose to include some beautiful changes in my personal development. But it is very important that you say that I am enough. So, can you choose which area of life you want to make changes and make this statement like saying that I am enough, and I choose to work on this, and I choose to make add positive changes to this? Can you say that? Do it now, please. Have you felt awesome? You feel empowered, right? Because that is what you are. God can never make a mistake. You are made flawless already. But it is for you to understand that you are already empowered. You have all the resources you need to be successful, and you can create more resources to be more successful. Okay, so you are empowered already. Realize that you are empowered. It is just these techniques are going to be very much on the bank. That is like it's something like where all other techniques which I am very fascinated with NLP because I could see so much of changes happening then and there. I've been using a lot of NLP techniques even before, but that time I didn't know that these are NLP techniques. But when some of the things we do, you also would have experienced. That's because like when you are trying to reframe your life, many of the changes which you are bringing is all what we call as the neuro linguistic programming. So here, this particular module about it, we will be able to change our perspective in every area of life, whether it is finance, work, whether it is about like building confidence, whether it is coming out of phobia, relationship, any area of life, you just think about and you can bring those changes. Okay, so the all the things which are planned is in such a way that each and everything you are able to come out and then and there. It's not like it's going to make there would be changes. You would be able to get those benefits then and there. Later on, we do have many more ideas about focusing on each and every particular aspect. We are designed courses on NLP for students, how to have the best performance in their examination. That also we will be announcing soon. Then there would be like NLP for couples, okay, then NLP for money. Okay, so how we break the blockages we have for each and every area of life. So these are the future things which are in the pipeline, which you will be informed about. So in case you are interested to know more and you are wanting to like join our program, just contact me. You can message me so I can share further details. You can enroll yourself. And whatever area you are looking for changes, do mention. Okay, because that helps us to make it more focused on you as well. Because based on what are the common things which everybody wants, so we can be focusing more on that. So you would see a very huge shift for sure on that very same day. So where, with whatever mindset you come, we assure that when you go back, there would be a very huge difference. Okay, so with that, I would be opening up this question answer session. So whoever has the questions, you can just post, you can just ask, okay, and I'll be replying. Thank you.